Every Mars mission begins with the same beautiful lie. The red planet, humanity's next home, our backup plan. Elon Musk promises gleaming cities under glass domes. NASA promises footprints in crimson dust. Politicians promise a new frontier. We've spent decades obsessing over this rock. Rovers crawling across its surface. Satellites circling like vultures. Missions that cost more than feeding entire nations. All for what? A chance to plant a flag on a dead world? But what if we're not looking at our future? What if we're staring at our grave? Mars isn't where humanity goes to live. It's where planets go to die. And if we're not careful, it'll be where we join them. That famous red glow everyone photographs, the one that looks mystical in telescope images, it's not romantic, it's pathetic. The planet is literally bleeding out in slow motion, rusting, decaying. Every grain of Martian dust is an atom of failure. Geologists read rock the way medical examiners read bodies, and the rocks on Mars tell a story of catastrophic organ failure. The minerals don't lie. Hematite spheres that only form in standing water. Valley networks carved by rivers that flowed for millions of years. Clay deposits that require liquid water to exist. 4 billion years ago, Mars had a pulse. A magnetic field protecting it just like Earth's does now. Liquid water pooling in impact craters. An atmosphere thick enough to trap heat. Then something failed, internally. Not an asteroid impact, not a solar flare. The planet's core stopped generating a magnetic field. And when that happened, Mars had maybe 100 million years before the end. The solar wind began stripping away the atmosphere molecule by molecule. Water evaporated into space or froze underground. The temperature plummeted. It didn't explode. It starved. And now we look at this desiccated corpse and call it opportunity. Let's talk about what they don't put in the recruitment videos. Mars gravity is 38% of Earth's. That sounds fun, right? Jumping higher, lifting heavier objects. Until you realize what that actually means for your body. Your muscles atrophy within months. Your bones dissolve like sugar in water. Astronauts on the International Space Station lose 1 to 2% of their bone density every month, and that's at zero gravity with exercise equipment. On Mars, you'd be strong enough to lift a boulder, but too weak to stand up straight when you got back to Earth. If you ever got back. Then there's the communication problem nobody mentions. The distance between Earth and Mars varies from 3 to 22 light minutes, depending on orbital position. Let's say there's an emergency, a fire, a medical crisis, someone's dying. You scream for help into the radio. Earth hears you 20 minutes later. Their response arrives 20 minutes after that. By the time help arrives, you've been dead for 40 minutes. And there is absolutely nothing anyone can do about it. The speed of light doesn't care about your emergency. But here's the psychological trap that'll break you before the radiation does. You can see Earth in the Martian sky, a blue dot. Every single person you've ever loved is on that dot. Your family, your friends, everyone who remembers your name. And it takes 6 to 9 months to get back. If there's a launch window, if your spacecraft works, if nothing goes wrong during the journey. And because the atmosphere is so thin, even the sky is wrong. During the day, it's not blue, it's butterscotch, beige, the color of old photographs. Sunsets on Mars are blue, not orange, blue. Everything your brain evolved over millions of years to recognize as safe and normal is inverted. Even the light is homesick. Now let's talk about the part that makes this whole fantasy collapse under its own weight: money. Conservative estimates put the cost of a self-sustaining Mars colony at $100 to $500 billion minimum. For that same amount of money, you could end malaria globally 3 times over, build 50 nuclear fusion reactors, reverse ocean acidification, fund every cancer research program on Earth for a decade, or you could send 100 people to slowly die on Mars. Here's the supply chain nightmare nobody wants to discuss. Let's say you're a colonist and you need insulin, you're diabetic, not your fault, just biology. The spacecraft from Earth takes 6 to 9 months to arrive. The cost to send 1 kilogram of cargo to Mars is roughly $200,000. 1 vial of insulin. The cost of a luxury car just to deliver it. Break your leg? The surgical supplies for 1 operation cost $50 million to ship. The most expensive way to die is on another planet. People love to say, but Antarctica is harder and we live there. No, stop. Antarctica has breathable air for free. Rescue helicopters that can reach you in hours, supply ships that arrive in weeks, Earth's magnetic field protecting you from radiation for free. Mars has none of these things. Antarctica is a beach resort compared to Mars. Let's talk about the thing that actually killed our most successful rover. Martian dust isn't like Earth dust. It's not just annoying. It's not the stuff you wipe off your shelves. Under a microscope, Martian dust particles look like microscopic glass shards. Jagged, sharp, and they're electrostatically charged, which means they cling to everything like malicious glitter that you can never, ever remove. The Opportunity rover landed on Mars in 2004. It was designed to last 90 days. It lasted 14 years. In 2018, a dust storm began. Not unusual. Mars has dust storms all the time. But this one grew and grew. Within weeks, it covered the entire planet. The sun disappeared. Opportunity's solar panels, covered in a blanket of razors, stopped generating power. The rover's batteries drained in the darkness. Its last transmission before the cold destroyed its electronics was logged by engineers at JPL. They later translated the telemetry data into plain English. My battery is low and it's getting dark. Even robots send goodbye messages. Now imagine you're human, living in a habitat, dependent on solar power. That dust seeps through every seal, every zipper, every airlock, gets in your lungs and causes something like silicosis, gets in the machinery and everything grinds to a halt. And it's not just abrasive. Martian dust contains perchlorates, toxic to your thyroid. And worse, they're extremely combustible. One spark near Martian dust in an oxygen-rich environment, and your habitat becomes a bomb. During a global dust storm, you're in planetary lockdown, months without sunlight, months without resupply, months listening to static on the radio, wondering if anyone on Earth remembers you exist. The silence doesn't kill you. The waiting does. Right now, Mars has more dead machines than living ones. Soviet landers from the 1970s crashed into craters, orbiters that lost contact and tumbled into the atmosphere. Rovers with frozen joints, half buried in dunes. They're not monuments to human achievement. They're warnings we refuse to read. Some of the satellites are still up there, orbiting, already dead. Solar panels degraded beyond function. Computers frozen solid, but they still spin, endlessly. Zombies in orbit, circling a corpse. And here's the darkest part. NASA is already planning where to bury astronauts who die on Mars. Not if, where. They have protocols for body preservation in Martian cold. Discussions about whether to bury them in regolith or mark graves with rocks. Whether to bring the bodies back to Earth or leave them there forever. We're planning graveyards before we've built homes. Centuries from now, if humanity survives, Mars will be an archaeological site, not of Martian civilization, but of human overconfidence. The only ruins on Mars will be ours. We look at Mars and see ambition, adventure, a bold future among the stars. We should see prophecy, because Mars had everything Earth has: a thick atmosphere, liquid water, a magnetic field, active geology, volcanic heat, seasons, and it lost all of it. The difference is time scale. Mars died over 100 million years. Earth is changing in 100 years. We're speedrunning planetary collapse. Right now, Mars' atmosphere is 95% carbon dioxide, a runaway greenhouse effect that cooked the planet. Earth's atmosphere is 0.04% CO2 and rising. We're trying to become Mars. We're just doing it faster. Here's the insanity of the plan. We want to escape a dying Earth by going to a dead Mars. It's like escaping a sinking ship by swimming to a shipwreck. Every $1 billion spent on a Mars colony is $1 billion not spent fixing Earth, not protecting rainforests, not building seawalls, not developing fusion power. Why terraform Mars when we can't even maintain form Earth? But let's take a breath and think about what Earth gives us for free. Air that doesn't poison us, water that falls from the sky, a magnetic shield that blocks lethal radiation 24 hours a day, gravity strong enough to keep our bones from disintegrating, a sun that warms us without cooking us, soil that actually grows food, a moon that stabilizes our axial tilt so we don't have chaotic climate swings. We won the cosmic lottery. We're standing on the one known planet in the universe where life doesn't just exist, it thrives. And we're throwing away the ticket. Mars is not our future. It's not our backup plan. It's not our second chance. Mars is a mirror showing us what happens when a planet loses its protection. And it's a warning about what we're doing to the one planet that actually wants us alive. The graveyard of the solar system is waiting. Let's not join it.